My name is Sabrina, and I am 60 years old. I'm a writer, I'm a mother, and I am the creative director of a small nonprofit organization that focuses on the connection between art, nature, and the human spirit. The reason I'm here today is because I want people to know my story. I have been given a second chance at life because of my stem cell treatment here at Stemaid. The pluripotent stem cells have absolutely changed everything. I had what in America and in most places would be considered a permanent condition, permanent motor nerve damage. And I was primarily housebound, if not bedbound, for the majority of 12 years before coming to Stemaid Institute. I couldn't walk properly, and I was experiencing muscle spasms and nerve pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was absolutely unceasing. And the muscles in this was all on the left side, all of the left leg, although it eventually affected my hip and my buttocks and lower back as well. Ultimately, what the problem was nerve compression at L2, L3, the femoral nerve. But the reason why it became permanent is because it was not diagnosed correctly within the first year. So by the time the third year came, my leg looked more like an arm. At the time, my friends didn't say this to me, but after I came back from treatment at Stemaid, and he was like, "Oh my God, Sabrina, your leg used to look like a scary skeleton leg, and I can't even tell the difference now as to which leg was affected and which wasn't." It really is. It's like a miracle. If it wasn't science, I would probably say it was science fiction. I really don't have enough words to express my gratitude, also the ways in which my life has changed. I mean, to go from being primarily housebound for 12 years to within a period of 6 months, almost having a fully independent life is extraordinary. When I arrived at Stemaid Institute, I needed a wheelchair. I could walk and stand without it, but only for short periods of time, and I had very little stamina. Also, I was very frail. I had lost a great deal of my life force energy just dealing with the pain day in and day out. Of course, it also affected my family life. And I'm very, very lucky that my daughter was able to stand by me and help me through this till we got to Stemaid, where both our lives were changed. She also has hypermobility syndrome, and she used to have multiple frequent subluxations that were very painful. This would happen many times a month. And since her treatment at Stemaid, it happens maybe once a month, but it has changed her life as well. I woke up in the middle of the night after the third day of treatment, and I knew that something had changed, but I didn't know what it was, and there wasn't yet an obvious difference in my physicality. But by the fourth day, whereas I had been using the wheelchair in the house to get from my bedroom to where the bathroom was, on the fourth day, I found myself at the door to the bathroom to take a shower, and I was like, "Oh my God, where's my wheelchair?" It was back in my bedroom. So that was indisputable. And then whereas I used to live from pain medication and things to help reduce the spasticity could only be given every 6 hours. So basically, I lived 6 hours to 6 hours, and usually in the last hour, or maybe even in the last 2 hours, most of that time had to be spent lying down in bed because I just could not. My leg had no strength to hold me up, and the pain was too extreme to bear, pretty much. And before we came here, I honestly barely had enough energy to chew my food. It really had become that dire. And so then the next thing that happened was I started to forget that it was, that 6 hours was almost up and it would be time to take my medicine. The first time that happened, we thought, maybe this is a fluke. But when it continued to happen, and I wasn't even thinking about when did I need the next medication, that again was just further proof that what was happening was real. Because it almost seems too good to be true. And I think most people who've been in situations even somewhat similar to mine know that one can become desperate. And listen, I tried almost everything, and what I had could not be cured through the power of my mind. There was no meditation, no mantra, no anything, but I couldn't fake my body out. It really had a true physical condition that could only be cured, apparently, by stem cells, because in America they told me my condition was permanent. There was absolutely nothing they could do for me. The nerve damage was so great and the muscle atrophy was so great that I couldn't build any strength or any stamina, and it would take weeks to recover from any attempt. I wasn't afraid to come to Mexico for medical treatment. I'd spent a lot of time in Mexico in the past. And then when I came to the clinic, I overheard some of the patients here saying, oh, well, I did try stem cells. I even used my own stem cells in Panama. And while I did get a little bit better, it was nothing like when I came here to Stemaid. So I do believe it is the difference in the type of stem cell. And since I've never had any other type, I can only, go by my own direct experience. The stem cells and continue to develop after you leave. So when I left here after 3 weeks of treatment, I could walk independently, but I did still need the wheelchair for, even within my house. By evening, my leg would get very tired. There may be episodes after you leave here where it seems like you might be going backwards, or you doubt whether this is really working, but just, hold the faith, so to speak. Those will just be short episodes, and that is my experience as well. So there were a few times where I was like, oh my God, is it going backwards? But one thing I saw was that I recovered so much more quickly from any type of physical activity. This is the most miraculous thing I've ever experienced. And I do know that the treatment has worked and it has changed my life. And I'm going to continue having treatment so that I can continue to get even stronger. And I would recommend it to anyone. I don't think you have anything to lose. You can feel safe in coming to Stemaid. The people here are amazing. Everyone is gentle and kind, and they really do their absolute best to make you feel comfortable both physically and emotionally. And so that is my story.